حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله. الحمد لله على الإحسان والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له تعظيما لشأنه، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه، صلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. اللهم لك الحمد منا ولك الشكر فضلا، وأنت ربنا حقا ونحن عبيدك رقا. اللهم يا ميسر كل عسير ويا جبار كل كبير، يسر علينا كل عسير والتيسير العسير عليك يسر. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. نعوذ بالله من أهل النار. فيا عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي الخاطئة بتقوى الله تعالى، فإنها وصية ربنا جل وعلا للأولين والآخرين، حين قال: لقد وصينا الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم وإياكم أن اتقوا الله. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, as always, Allah Azza wa Jalla recommended us taqwa, and I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us among the muttaqeen. Moving forward with our topic last week, we were in a series of tricks of Iblis and Shaitan, and we talked about Hasan and Ghadab and the disease of the heart. And among the diseases of the heart, or the entrance of Shaitan, and the cause of all evil, as a matter of fact, is an anger. If you think a moment, no one kills no one without getting angry. No one says bad thing to no one without getting angry. Every evil thing starts with anger. ولهذا our Prophet ﷺ, when the man came, Hadith Abu Hurairah, and he said to him, a رجل came to Prophet ﷺ فقال: أوصني يا رسول الله, give me a good advice, O Messenger of Allah. Prophet ﷺ advised him, as they used to ask advice all the time. He said, لا تغضب, do not get angry. In literal meaning, it says don't get angry, but that's not what the word means. It means manage and control your emotions when it comes to anger. You're a human being, you can get angry, but the anger has to be controlled. Anger technically is emotion like any other emotions, like a joy and fear, and any other emotions. It affects you the same way you experience other things. As a matter of fact, to get angry is an emotion that you need, and that's how you know when something's wrong, something has changed. But the anger that Prophet ﷺ is telling us to control, it is a self-motivated anger, baseless anger. If you don't get angry, how will you know something is wrong? People will walk over you. The reason why Prophet ﷺ said do not get angry means an anger that leads you into emotion that you cannot control. And the person usually, when he gets angry, he feels exactly this way. He's right, and his right is being threatened. He feels he's right, and everything else must be wrong. He's right, the other party must be wrong. That is the one that Prophet ﷺ says, do not think and anger like that. Don't assume that you're right and everybody else is wrong. That's the one that he repeats 3 times. That Allah. And then he said, I know that, give me something else. That Allah. فَرَدَدَ مِرَارًا, he repeated 3 times. till he said every single time, لا تغضب. رواية الثانية أبو داود, a man said, دلوني على عمل يدخل الجنة. O Prophet of Allah, show me a deed that will take me to Jannah. He said, لا تغضب ولك الجنة. Control your anger, it will take you to Jannah. Another riwayah, riwayat al-Bukhari, it is similar to that. The key to Jannah is to manage your anger. Furthermore, the man says in other narrations, فَفَكَرْتُ قَلِيلًا, I thought a moment. Then I realized, فَإِذَا الْغَضَبُ يَجْمَعُ الشَّرُّ كُلُّهُ. All evil comes all under the umbrella of anger. ماذا يباعدني عن غضب الله? Another narration. Tell me something will protect me the anger of Allah. He said, don't get angered, don't get angry yourself, and Allah will not get angry at you. So still is under your management. Another narration, he says, the man, I thought a moment and I realized, مفتاح كل شر, the evil, the key to all evil is getting angry. So the key of all the evil is getting angry. Our Prophet ﷺ, he never get angry for himself. People said about him every single thing in the world. As a matter of fact, it's a Quran that we recite every single day. They call him a kahin, they call him Majnun, they call him all names. A magician, you name it. Allah did not erase that from the Quran. It is Quran that he recites. But he used to get angry when it's threatened the deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So the ghadab al-ghadaban, ghadab, you get angry for yourself. That's the one that is prohibited from you. But if you get angry for Allah's sake, that part is allowed. Let's look a moment and think how the prophets of Allah managed their angers. Because they were humans like us, alayhim as-salam. Musa is one of them, alayhi salam. Allah Azza wa Jal taught us a beautiful key, which is the number one thing how to manage anger, is not to say anything. وَلَمَّا سَكَتَ عَنْ مُوسَى الْغَضَبِ, what did he do? لَمَّا سَكَتَ. So it started with what? Seal his mouth, not to say anything. Think like this. Your heart is a storage. The key to that storage is your tongue. As long as you control your tongue, no one will know what's in that storage. So وَلَمَّا سَكَتَ عَنْ مُوسَى الْغَضَبِ, it's an example. We talked about last week the evil of the children of Yaqub, how they plan their hasad, they're against their own brother. If you read this story, there's a lot of lessons to learn. At the end of this story, there's a beautiful lesson. When Yusuf alayhi salam, they were all under his umbrella. See, these people, whether they're the hussad, or the backbiters, or the people who make you angry, you don't know the future. They may end up becoming, when you treat them the best, idfa' billati hi ahsan. Give them the best, treat them the best. فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم. Shake their hand, smile for them, treat them better than because they're low lives. That's exactly who they are. But the Yusuf alayhi salam, when they need him, the people who thrown him as a child to a water well, made him end up becoming sold like a product, end up serving a jail for a crime that he did not commit. Out of all that, when he got out, and they are here buying and selling and needing him, he never told them one day who he was. He organized everything he could. He talked to his brother. He planned. He let him know who he is. فلما جهزهم بجهازهم جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون. You people stole it. What was their response? إن يسرق فقد سرق أخ له من قبل. If he stole, His older brother used to be a thief too. What are they talking about? Yusuf is still. He did not even say a word. You're talking still about me. And you forgot all what you have done. فَأَسَرَّهَا يُوسُفُ فِي نَفْسِهِ. Yusuf kept it in his storage. وَلَمْ يُبْدِهَا لَهُمْ. He did not even show emotions. He did not even forget utter a word. He did not even show emotions. Till they said, are you Yusuf? You are Yusuf? قال أنا يوسف وهذا أخي قد من الله. Look at that. This is Yusuf. This is me, Yusuf, and he is my brother. Just you figure out now, right? You see how he is? So second lesson is control your emotions. Rasulullah ﷺ, hadith Anas, he said, Sahaba told him, Fulan ma yusari ahad illa sara'ah. This man, everyone who competes with him, he knocks him down. On the terms of Sahaba, he's a good wrestler. Rasulullah ﷺ said, أَفَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى مَنْ هُوَ أَشَدُّ مِنْهُ. Should I show you someone who's much stronger than that guy? رجل كلمه رجل. Someone else said bad about him. فكظم غيظه. He managed his anger. That led him what? فغلب الشيطان. That leads him to control his shaitan. وغلب الشيطان صاحبه. And he took over the shaitan of his friend. So how many people are in his hand, that guy? Himself, his friend, and Lut shayateen. So how many people did knock him down? Oh, almost 4 people. Someone wrestle as one person, or someone who can knock 4 people down. Which one is better? Smart. Rasulullah ﷺ is teaching us al-quwwat al-haqiqiyya is not responding, it's not fighting. ليس الشديد بسرعة. Another hadith, strong is not the one who responds, either with his tongue or with his hand. But the really strong is the one who controls his tongue and his emotions. إذا نطق السفيه فلا تجبه فخير من إجابته السكوت. He said, don't respond to every single person. Sha'ir, Safi who says something bad, sometimes it's better to be quiet than to respond to the ignorance. Sahaba themselves, they practice that in so many hadith. Among them hadith Salman. استبى الرجلان عند الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. 2 men start saying bad things about each other in front of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. So the Prophet was watching, their emotions went up. One of them, he said, Wallahi, I swear by Allah, inni la'a'lam, I know. كلمة, a word, لو قالها, this guy, if he says, لذهب عنه ما يجب. Whatever he feels will go away. What is it? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So the Sahaba went to the man and they said, say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, you will feel better. What was his response? Response of the people today when you tell them, say, أعوذ بالله. He said, Wallahi inni lastu bi majnun. What do you think I am? I'm not mental. I'm not mental to say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan. That was his response. The Rasulullah said, you're mental. The only person says A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan must be a mental. No, Wallahi. But أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإما ينزغنك من الشيطان نزغ فاستعذ بالله. When shaitan pushes that button, your response is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Another ayah, وإذا ما غضبهم يغفرون. What is the benefit? The benefit is a lot in this world and hereafter. Among the things you get in this world, angels will make dua for you, like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. A man was talking bad about Abu Bakr all along, while Prophet ﷺ was sitting there. And our Prophet, what did he do? The moment Abu Bakr responded back radiallahu anhu wa Rasulullah ﷺ took his shoes and he left. His concern, Abu Bakr, wasn't about the man. He immediately ran after the Prophet, asking what happened. He said, while you were all sitting, angels were there making istighfar for you. The moment you responded to that person, that is the moment that the the angels left. You became part of that evil shaitanic act, so the angels left, and I left. So what did Muhammad ﷺ made him leave? All along he was among the people saying Ameen. But the moment that Abu Bakr responded, he left. What more do you want angels to defend you than Iman to defend you? What more do you want angels to make dua for you than anything? So that's just in dunya. In akhirah, سارعوا إلى مغفرة من ربكم وجنة عرضها السماوات والأرض أعدت للمتقين. When you read among them those الكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. This Jannah that's so high, the key to enter that Allah prepared for the muttaqeen, those who have the key are among the people who don't respond to their anger. Hereafter, على رؤوس الخلائق, Allah Azza wa Jal will call by your name. من كذب غيظ, whosoever protect his anger. وهو قادر, while he can, or another hadith, يستطيع to defend himself. Sometimes, you have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to say the truth. Even arguments, you have a right to mention your right points. But Islam teaches you to stay away from all of that. Even in debates, in jidal, the Prophet says whosoever ignores arguments, even if he's right, I promise you Jannah. So in this hadith, you will get what? Allah will call you ala ru'us al-khalaiq, Muhammad, Ahmad, Jama', you name it, Hassan, Allah will call your name. The fact that you control your anger. Islam teaches us always to be higher than that. خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف وأعرض عن الجاهلين. Take the forgiveness, encourage that also, and ignore the ignorant. Good and bad are not the same. Always take the path of good. Salim bin Abdullah, while he was given a talk, people talked bad about him, but his cousin came and he said, in the middle of the Masjid al-Nabawi, while he's giving a lecture, all the stuff that doesn't exist. When he finished, he said, Jazakallahu khayran. That's all he said. At night time, he went and knocked his door. So, you know, people are divided, by the way, into three groups. A group that when they get angry, 50% of the time, they control their anger. But 50% of the time, by the way, they don't control their anger. The other 50% that left, 25%, they control their anger at that moment. When they go to the car, they come back with a baseball bat. So 25% react. And then you have 15% who don't react, but they keep it here. You remember the jellyfish last week's story, jellyfish? The snake is eating them. Right? Only 10% let it go. So, at night time, he knocks his door, so his cousin thinks Salim is going to take revenge at night time. Because you say bad about him in daytime. He opened the door, he said, my brother, if what you say about me is true, may Allah forgive me. If what you say about me is not true, may Allah forgive you. Can you please close your door? Salamu alaikum. That's all he said. Because at the end of the day, it's Rabbul Alameen who's going to judge you. Who cares what others think? Imagine someone slaps you and you say, are you okay? Is your hand okay? Are you feeling hurt? Any pain in your hand? How does that feel? Somebody slapped you and you tell him, are you okay? Is your hand okay? How does that feel? They will look small. And most people who are cheap are like that. In the morning they talk about you, but when they meet you, they start kissing you in front of people. I have seen it, and I know you have seen those people. So when you respond to them like that, and you think like the Sahaba, in khaffat muwazini, if what you say will lower my scale of hasanat, then I'm worse than you, he said. But if what you say increase my hasanat, then I'm better than you. If you have that mindset, do you really think what others do you care what others say about you? No. So think like that. Ahnaf ibn Qais said people are into three categories. People who are lower than you, so don't go low to that. People who are above you, they think they're better than you, ignore them because they are arrogant. People who are equally with you and they always challenge you, don't challenge them, leave them alone because you're not the judge to judge. Abu Bakr learned from the lesson of the Ameen Dua, radiallahu anhu wa arda. When the man talked about him another time, he said, مَا سَتَرَ اللَّهُ عَنْكَ أَكْثَرُ. What Allah did not tell you about me, and He covered for me, is more than what you're saying about me. In other words, had you know a lot about me, you would have been saying more about me. So Abu Bakr is saying, Alhamdulillah, you know very little. But Malik ibn Dinar said, مَا عَرَفَنِي غَيْرك. My friend, no one knows me but you, man. He's affirming, hey, you know more than anyone else, mashallah, keep doing it. They were different than us. You know, the society we live in the traffic time alone, over 83% of the people are angry. Imagine with the gun laws passed now, everybody has a gun. Imagine, 83% of the people in the highway are angry. The percentage of angry from employment are 20-something. Percentage who are angry about children problem are more than 50%. Percentage who have husband and wife problem are 70%. Numbers are skyrocketing if you look at it, the statistics. So the society you live in, an angry society every single day. And you are a Muslim, it will affect you. Everything around you will affect you. So the lessons we have learned are plenty. I will recall, inshallah ta'ala, in the next moment. Jazakumullah khair. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله لكم ويا رسول الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وهدى وتقى يا رب العالمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. Number one, we have learned exchange. Number one is sakat al-Musa, right? Control your anger by not saying. The key of your storage is your tongue, so keep that tongue closed. Keep that key in your wallet. Second, Prophet ﷺ taught us, and Islam teaches us to say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. To say what? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Third, change your positions. Prophet ﷺ said, if you're standing, sit down. If you're sitting, lay down. If you're laying down, don't stand up, basically, right? So the hadith teaches you, if you're standing, go down, lay down. It means your blood pressure lower it. Don't make it higher. You make it lower it. That's what Islam teaches you. So, fourth is to wash. The hadith doesn't say, by the way, wudu. It's Muawiyah who left the minbar. He left the minbar. I'll show you something, so don't worry about that. Soon we're going to turn the light off. I will leave you with something that brothers always say. I like when one of the brothers or more actually told me, when you show us a picture of what you're talking about at the end, it gives us a memory forever. So I want to give you a picture like last time. So focus with me a little bit. Is Muawiyah that left the minbar, when they talked bad about him, he left the minbar, we made wudu and came back, and he said, anger comes from shaitan, and shaitan was created from fire, and best thing to turn off fire is the water, so that's why I make wudu. But that's not a hadith, that was Muawiyah's statement. People think making wudu, it is the case, not necessarily. Just washing your face is enough. Four, don't be among the people who keep the anger with them all the time. Don't go to the car and grab basketball, baseball. There's different ways you can take your revenge, by the way. It's not always taking a baseball. You can use the baseball, by the way, and not hit anybody. A man was hit by a baseball. Just talking about a baseball, right? He went to hospital, a month later he got out, so he said, you know what, I have to take revenge, get a baseball bat and knock his head down so he feels what it's like a month. His father told him, son, you don't have to hurt nobody. Just get the baseball, keep it with you. Just follow him every single restaurant you go, sit right behind him. Every time he goes to a masjid, just pray right behind the second row and put your baseball bat. Show the baseball bat everywhere you go. That's all you need to do. Don't hurt him. So what happened to the man? He goes to eat, a guy sitting right behind him with a baseball bat. He can't eat. He goes to the masjid to pray. Allahu Akbar, the guy behind him with the baseball right behind him. He can continue the salah. Yeah? So what happened at the end? He said, man, either use that baseball bat or leave me alone. So there's many ways you can get it back. It's not always to do it exactly the same way they do it to you. So talking about that, much better than that is, let the baseball go. Let the baseball bat go. Forget it. Like Yusuf alayhi salam, what did he do at the end? When his brothers were sitting all learn all that they have done, 40, 50 years of suffering at the end, what did he say? وَقَدْ أَخْرَجَنِي مِنَ السِّجْنِ وَجَاءَ بِكُمْ مِنَ الْبَدْرِ. Because he forgave him, he doesn't want to go back to that. He said, you know what? Allah is the one who saved you from the hunger. No, Allah is the one who saved you from the badiyah, out there. Because badiyah, 6 months is good, 6 months bad. But he doesn't want to remind them the whole thing because they are right now living better life. And the one who saved me from jail. He didn't say, and by the way, the one who saved me from you thrown me into the water well. Which one do you thank Allah with? Which one was worse? The jail or the water well? The water well was worse for him. He used that jail because he doesn't want to remind his brother it's the water well. Sometimes people forgive you and they tell you, you remember I forgave you last time? You know that? I forgive you last time. You still doing it? No, man. If you forgive, you have to have ifat al-lisan. Let it go. Live your life happy. Why? You will regret. Actions you do today, you will regret. 5. If you don't control your anger and you use that tongue, you will use a lot of things that you will not be able to take it back. Like cursing, like la'na. A man cursed his camel. Our Prophet ﷺ said, today فَلَا تُصَاحِبْنَا بِمَلْعُونٍ. This journey, somebody who's cursed cannot join us. What does that mean? Even the camel that's cursed cannot be part of my journey. Our Prophet ﷺ said, women when they get angry, they make dua against people. لَا تَتْرُوا عَلَى أَنفُسِكُمْ. Don't make dua against yourself, your children, because it will come back to you. More. It leads you to say statements that may take you out of Islam. Sometimes because of other people, I hate Islam, or you say statements, I have heard that. Once upon a time we were in Irving, and the brother was building the entrance of the Masjid and the road palms. And a lady came and just passed through and destroy all the work you have done. And she's coming backward again. Another one way destroying all the palms he built. And this guy looks like a pure white cowboy Texan guy. But he's an Arabi, right? So the lady says, hey, you know where you at? You are inside the Muslim area. You know what we do? She started talking bad things. He said, I hate Islam, and he went on and on and on. He got out of Islam by just what she just did. But she assumed he must be a white. She's wrong and he's wrong. She didn't say anything about Islam, but Shaitan made him get out of Islam. And the worst part, brothers, as an imam and as a counselor we deal with, is one thing, which is, and that's the one I want you to know, is we divorce our wives so easily with anger. And our excuse is, brother, I was angry. Wallahi, I don't even know what I said. I don't even know what I said. You know what Ibn Abbas told that man when he came to him and he said that? He said, عَسَيْتَ رَبَّكَ. You disobey your Lord. Because your Lord told you to manage your anger. And وَحُرِّمْتَ زَوْجَتَكَ. And you're divorced from your wife. So he's among the people who don't buy I was angry. I will leave you with this picture, inshallah, to have a memory in your mind. And this is Imam Shafi'i's statement. It will help you a lot. It will actually help you in such a way that next time you will have a memory about it. قالوا سكت. They said you were quiet while people talk about you. Can someone turn the light off, please, the back? He said, إِنَّ الْجَوَابَ. If I respond to them, turn please the whole thing. If I respond to them, it will open the door of evil. وَصُمْتُ عَنْ جَاهِلٍ أَوْ أَحْمَقٍ شَرَفٌ. To be quiet from the ignorance and the jahils, it's actually honor. And it also protects your honor and is the best for you. This is the best part. أَمَا تَرَى الْأُسْدَ. He said, don't you see the lions? People are scared of them. وَهِيَ صَامِتَةٌ. While they're quiet, look at that lion. It's not saying nothing. If you see a lion here saying nothing, brother, you're still scared. Don't you agree? Just look at the lion by itself. You'll be scared. And he said, وَالْكَلْبُ. The dog, people are chasing him, وَهُوَ نَبَّاحٌ. While he's parking. Dog, people chase him while he's still parking. So the person who's talking about you, consider him a dog that's parking. Don't chase him. Don't become the person who's chasing you. Be always the lion. Take the higher scale. And at the end I will end with this. Remember the man who was saving the cat, and I mentioned that long time ago? He saw a cat falling and he's grabbing and the cat scratching and he's saving the cat and saving the cat. At the end, he pulled the cat and threw it away. So a young man was all along talking and saying, hey, old man, don't you get it? This cat is keep scratching you. So he came to me and he said, look, my job and my goal is to save the cat. And I'm not going to become a cat by scratching and let it go. If my job is to save this cat, it doesn't matter how much it scratches me. Sometimes you do the right thing for others, even if they're scratching you. But you might be the one who saved them. Only Allah knows that. So I'll say to you today and leave you with manage your anger. And number two, remember that picture. Be the lion. جزاكم الله خير. اللهم لا تدع لنا في هذا المقام ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هما الا فرجته ولا دينا الا قضيته ولا مريضا الا شافيته ولا حاجه من حوائج الدنيا والاخره الا قضيتها يسرتها يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الاحياء منهم والاموات انك سميع قريب مجيب دعوات. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. Quick announcement. Tomorrow night, Saturday, between 7 to 9:15. We have a welcome night program for our new Imam Sheikh Mu'ad. Those of you who do not know Sheikh Mu'ad, you will see online, Imam from Mecca, has masters ilm al-qira'at. He will be reciting Quran and people love him and people will keep asking to have a Quran night. So we have that welcome night between 7 to 9 Saturday night. Today 5 to Maghrib is a game night for the children. Again, this is the second game night. Those children who won and finished their Quran and finished their Salah chart and etc. So please support your masjid and your school and donate generously. Again, we thank you, those of you who welcome the Imam and contribute and donate. May Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you. We still need your help and your donations. A special thanks to everyone, but specifically to Brother Yasser, who went out of his way to make sure he gets a car and he's still working on it. And every one of you who came and approached me. If the Sheikh decides, inshallah, to have that car khair, if not, we'll give you the chance. Basically, we go first come, first serve. Again, thank you. May Allah bless you. Please support your masjid and donate. And see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Welcome.